Hey there, this is Pam Perry. So we're going to really dig into a little bit of a brand of what is we see, do an assessment, give some advice. Here's some feedback from our Ready Set Go Speak community as well. I'd like to say that one of the things that we do is kind of like dissect it so that it's better. And Nick Tinch is going to be joining us shortly, and he is a all in the lane of real estate. One of the things I always tell people to do is Google yourself and what comes up. And so one of the things that came up was his speakers magazine page that was in this month's April issue. How about that? But that was just April. So what were you before that? So we're going to really dive into that. And with me joining is business strategy Lenzy Ruffin as well. And we're going to just put him in the hot seat. We do this every Friday at 2 o'clock. So right after this, I'm going to bring up our guests and talk a little bit about what you can expect as this hour as your guide in PR and branding.
Welcome to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast. Join Pam Perry, veteran PR strategist, Emmy award-winning producer and publisher of Speakers Magazine, who will show you how to crack the code in getting out there to get known. Each week, she either interviews her media friends, PR colleagues, or she just goes solo, offering you strategies on publicity, publishing, and platform building. So listen up to hear how to get booked on media places and on superstar stages. Now, here's your host, Pam Perry.
Hey there. So, one of the things that we do every week is that we take a particular person, they fill out an application for the media makeover. It's the link in there if you want to do that. And we kind of do an assessment about what it is that they are about, who are they, what they do, who do they do it for, so that people can have really good clarity. Once they have the clarity, we then talk about how they get out there and get known, hence the name of the podcast. But the main thing is like really offering them advice. Ready, Set, Go Speak is a community, a year-long community where we mentor, we guide, we share contact information, speaking opportunities so that people can get out there and get known. Business strategy wise, all of this doesn't make any sense if you're not really making a profit. So we look at some of the things that you're doing that may be hindering you from making as much money in your business as possible, or some of the things that we look at your brand that's incongruent. And sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. And that's why we do this show every week, because sometimes you need someone to really, you've been in your own forest and you just see all the trees, but then it's like someone can come in and say, hey, but you know that this over here is there, and that's probably where your money is. So that's really the thing. So what I'm going to do is really just share things about clarity, really things about how to position in terms of what media and what PR to really go after. All media is not for everybody. If you don't live in Baltimore, maybe you shouldn't be in the Baltimore newspaper, right? So some of the things make common sense, but sometimes people just say, oh, I want to be on this particular show, and their audience is really not there. Or some people say, hey, I want to be on a billboard, but then your audience isn't there. Or I want to be in an artist magazine, but you really talk about tech. So matching the right message with the media is the most important thing. Media are always looking for stories, but they want the right story that matches their audience, not what you're trying to sell, and not really based on what what it is that you really want to be seen in. Because you could be seen on, say, a very popular TV show, say if it's a reality show, I don't know, Real Housewives of whatever. But if it doesn't match your audience, it won't bring you any revenue. So why waste that time or that energy? So what we're going to do is I'll bring up Lenzy and let him explain a little bit more about who we are and what we do. And we're going to go deeper into this, but tell people a little bit more about Lenzy, what it is that you do and what we're bringing PR and branding with marketing and sales and how those two things align.
Sure. I'm Lenzy Ruffin. I help professional chefs become celebrity chefs by hosting a cooking show on YouTube. And for these hot seats, what I do is bring YouTube strategy and business development strategy. How are we going to leverage YouTube, which is, in my opinion, the most powerful platform for anyone who has public speaking ambitions? How are we going to leverage YouTube to increase your visibility and achieve your public relations objectives? How are we going to get your message in front of the most people as possible? And that's what I'm here for. No platform is better for that than YouTube. It just beats all the other platforms. So
And one of the things too is that when people say, "Oh, I'm on Roku, I'm on Apple TV, I'm on this and that," it's like, well, how many people sit down in their living room and actually watch those type of things? They're usually going to watch on their smart TV, and they would watch it on a large YouTube, especially longer form content. And that's really what we're about, to really talk about longer form content, things that really position you as a thought leader, things that really make you audience know, like, and trust you because they're watching you consistently is the real key, and they're watching you for longer periods of time. And so I'm going to really look and see a little bit about where our guest is. One of the main things about when you're doing media is that you always show up early. If you're doing a podcast live, so say we're on CNN, we don't really want to be late. So I'm going to give him a few minutes of grace to see where he is right now. He did say that he did get the link. So I want to make sure that technology does happen. Technology is good when it's working, but when it's not, it's not. So give me a minute and we're going to come right back and bring up Nick Tinch. Hey, this is Pam Perry, really giving you a PR pep talk. How to get publicity. What can it do for you? Why do you need it? What's it do? How much it costs? I'm going to answer those questions in a sec. So what can quick media coverage do? It can help you increase your visibility online, extend your reach, stand out from the crowd, higher ranking on Google so you can get found. SEO is important. That's what PR can do for you, for sure. So when you're ready, go to PamPerryPR.com. Love for you to get out there and get known. Get in all of the media that you see on the website, PamPerryPR.com. Take a pic of the packages for the PR. I'm PamPerryPR.com. All righty. We'll see you there. Yes, it's StreamYard. Hey. Okay. All right. Just hit the link. We're on live. Okay. All righty. What are we on live? Are we we're on StreamYard. So just hit the link I just sent you. Okay. All right. Is this going to be on social media or? It is streaming. It's streaming, sir. Yes, that was what the whole thing is. So I'm going to hang up and I'm actually live. So you don't want to join? That's okay. If you're media ready, you're media ready. If not, it's no problem. Yeah, let me do this right quick. Okay. I'm live, sir. So I'm going to let you go. So that is a lesson in being media ready. Okay. No shade to Nick. He's in this magazine. He got about 4 emails. Nick.
How we doing? So while we're waiting, or I don't know, well, anyway, there's an article that came out a couple of days ago, Pam, and I'm just going to read it from you real quick. An excerpt. This is from the Washington Post. That's about YouTube. YouTube is #1 in video and music listening. YouTube is America's top living room streaming destination. Data from Nielsen consistently shows that Americans spend more time watching YouTube on TV sets than we do any other streaming service, including Netflix. So I want people to, so I'm going to say that again so folks understand, let it sink in. People watch YouTube more than any other streaming platform, including Netflix. YouTube is the biggest video streaming platform in the world, not Netflix, not Hulu, not Roku, not any of these other ones. YouTube. So if you want to put yourself on TV, YouTube is how you do it.
Yeah. And the thing of it is, too, a lot of people really want to feel like that they can say as many platforms that they're on, that it's a good thing, that I'm on Roku, that I'm Apple, that I'm on Fire, that I'm on this and that. And it does sound really good because it sounds like you're being seen everywhere. But if most of the people are on YouTube, then build that channel out. They may watch TikTok, but they're not going to spend an hour with TikTok. They may watch even LinkedIn Live, but they're not going to spend hours on LinkedIn Live. We do stream on LinkedIn Live, but people go to YouTube. One of the reasons why, and we say this all the time, is Google owns YouTube. And so when people are looking to find something, just last night, my daughter had a digital camera and she wanted to take a picture and it wasn't working. She Googled really fast in YouTube so she can physically see what was wrong with her camera and fixed it in seconds. So people use YouTube for information. Obviously, there's some entertainment on there. I mean, people watch Shay Shay for entertainment. I don't know if they're watching it for information, but they will watch it because they know that within that, based on the tags or the links or the titles of your YouTube channel, they will know what it is that you're doing. One of the things that we said we would do is we would do a brand audit. So I'm a promise that right there. So one of the things that I will say about Nick, and he should be joining us shortly, just kind of text me, is that when we are on these platforms and social media is in a way like popularity, right, Lindsay? And so people want to make sure that, they look like they got something going on. They don't want to have like 100 followers. They want to have like someone who has 100,000 followers. So you look like a big deal, but it has to be authentic. There is a thing where people are buying followers or buying likes or buying any of these type of things. I mean, we live in an economy where whatever people want, people will sell. So if you want followers, they're gonna sell you followers. If you want likes, they will sell you likes. But let me trust and tell me that, Lindsay, is that a good thing? Why is it not a good thing? It appears like it's good, but
Yeah,
it is
it
uh
works against you every single time. Uh, just buying it's counterproductive. It does the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. So when you the way the algorithm works on any platform is it first starts by sharing whatever you post with your audience, the people who have subscribed or are following you, and it puts it in front of a sample of those people to see how they respond to it. And if they respond favorably, they're engaging it, they're liking, they're commenting, etc. It will show it to a wider group of people, again primarily in your followership or your subscriber base. And depending on how they react to it, it will show it to more people. And this is how things go viral. If you've ever had a post go viral, you can actually see it. You can see how it just keeps ramping up, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Um, but is not that doesn't work. You break that process when you buy followers or subscribers, because you got a bunch of fake accounts and the algorithm puts it in front of these fake accounts and they don't engage it because it's not real people. And
mhm,
so it's a post that nobody cares about. So the people who are following you don't even care about it. And so why would the platform put it in front of more people if your people don't even like it? So that's how buying followers works against you. It actually suppresses. You're better off with 0 followers and making a post than having a bunch of followers that you paid for and making a post, because all of those fake people who ignore it are actually going to make sure that post nobody ever sees that post. So it's
mhm.
counterproductive. That's just a vanity number. You can buy however many followers you want to buy, and you really should just think about that as how deep a hole are you digging for yourself, because that's basically whatever that number is. That's how many people are giving your post a thumbs down and making sure nobody sees it. So the more
Wow.
fake followers you have, the less likely anybody is to see anything that you post.
That is good. That is good. There's Nick. There you are, sir. He's in the hot seat. Okay,
I
sir. How are you?
apologize. I so much
That's okay.
apologize. How
That's
you guys
okay.
doing? How you doing, sir? How you
Good,
kicking,
good.
man?
Doing well, Nick. How are you?
So
I'm
we
good.
know if we were CNN, you would not be doing that, sir. Okay, we know
No,
that
no.
for real.
Doc. I thought this was. I thought you was gonna call and talk about some other stuff. So I apologize, y'all.
It's so funny. It's so funny
How
because
you guys
people,
doing?
we're doing good. People are so busy. We are
Yes,
very
ma'am. Yeah.
and
Yes, ma'am.
Lindsay is my business coach. She says that people, he says, Pam, sometimes you send so much information, people don't read it.
Yep. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
says it all the time. He says you make
Yeah.
it too long. He says, you may be a doctor, but everybody else don't want all that
We
information.
don't do all that, Doc. Right, man, bro. We don't do that. So, and it's so much stuff going on right now, and with projects and things. And then this is the weekend I get my daughter. So, but I apologize. How you guys doing?
You
Good,
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 man?
good. So I
Yeah,
do want to
man.
say that in our Ready Set Go Speak community, that there is a friend that is in our community, Stacey Hawkins Adams. She's
Yes,
been a
ma'am.
client of mine probably for about 20 years,
Okay.
author. So, and you've written a lot of books as well. And then
Hmm.
also too, I don't know if you actually got this, but you're in Speakers Magazine as well.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. Thank you. I can't wait till the copies come to my home or
Yes,
whatever, to the
yes, yes.
business. Yeah, yep.
So we were just saying this is basically like a brand assessment and it's live and you're in the hot seat. So we were basically saying some of the things before you got on, because
Okay.
I don't want to talk behind your back, is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
don't buy followers because it hurts the algorithm. So say for
Okay.
instance, you buy 5,000 followers and you
Hmm.
do a post on
Hmm.
YouTube or wherever, TikTok, and only 5 people like it.
Hmm.
What the algorithm is thinking at this point is that, okay, well then that means all the other followers put the thumbs down and there's only a
Hmm.
few that like it. So
Hmm.
that would mean that they're less likely to put your content out in front of people.
Hmm.
It's one of the things where we live in this economy. People will sell whatever people want to buy, but it's what they call a vanity metric. So when
Okay.
you look on someone's Instagram, you say, "Wow, they've got like 30,000 followers," and then you look and they're fake accounts.
Yep. Yep.
So a lot of social media people will do that now
Hmm.
because they're pressured. I guess you would say
Hmm.
that they're pressured because someone says, a social media manager would say, "I'm going to do your social media."
Yep.
So
I have had that. I have had that.
within 30 days, we're going to have 5,000 followers. So they know that they can't really do it
Yeah.
because it's impossible unless you're
Yep.
doing some really, really, viral,
Yep.
crazy or something.
I I
And
I
so that,
I I I have had 5 people manage my accounts from TikTok to the Facebook to Instagram. And what I learned was, number one, I'm paying y'all to do nothing because I can do
that
it
part.
myself. And number two, when you learn about the algorithm and you learn about how information goes out, you're like,
Yeah.
well, it's not even helping, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So what I got a young man that's 21 years old that's mentoring me. He teaches me about touch points. So what we're doing right now for me, as you know, being in the real estate space and things like that, is like he was like, Mr. Nick, with your books, with your Virginia Tech, I sit on the board of directors up in New York at an art school. I have 2 patents, my training program, my 7-figure network, the projects that I'm doing, me being a developer. He was like, you're at a space right now, you don't have to do anything else. You just have to maintain it and then keep going. So he was like, with you being a utility patent designer I think it's utility and design. You got to design and utility with the U.S. Trademark Office, and then with the
Mhm.
books, and then the Virginia Tech board seat and all that stuff. So he's teaching me about that, right? Because he's 21, 20, or 22. He's 22 now. So
Very good.
before Vaughn came on with me or whatever, um, I didn't know about it. So you have all these people that manages your accounts and you pay them because you don't want to deal with it. And I'm 44. I'll be 45 this year. But I'm seasoned like I'm 55 or 65 because I don't like doing that shit. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
hey,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm north of 60. What
But
you
that's
trying to say?
but in the sense of just knowing, keeping up with data and information, and the
It
way
is a
the
lot to
way
keep up with this.
how marketing and stuff goes. I don't like keeping up with that stuff. So what I do right now, I outsource a lot of stuff, right? I learned to be good at what Nick's
Tell
good
me.
at, right? And
Yeah,
um
tell me.
and so that's what he's teaching me as a 22-year-old kid that keeps up with those trends, and that he's a professional in it, right? So after I bumped my head and spent probably $15,000, right? Yeah, seriously. You know what I mean? I made the mistake with
And it hurts
multiple,
your algorithms
and it
too. That's
hurts your
the other
algorithm.
thing.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And so after I done spent, like I say, $15,000 over the course of having multiple people run the accounts and stuff, and they still not get the results that I want. Now we're kind of going backwards in a sense, recorrecting, stabilizing my brand of whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it, and then kind of moving forward, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
you're right in what you're saying. That's what I'm getting to. You're right in what you're saying. And me, someone that has made that mistake of spending 15K a month more. I spend more than that. I just don't want to say you
Oh
know,
my.
yeah, I spent more than that. So you look at it to where it's like, okay, let the experts do what they do. And this gentleman, he knows what he's talking about. So anyway, but that's been my lesson in it, in making mistakes
Mhm.
from a
Mhm.
financial side and from a marketing side, right? You know what I mean? So yeah.
I agree. I mean, this is one of the things about Ready Set Go Speak. It's a
Hmm.
community, and I always tell people you can either learn by mistakes or
Yeah.
mentors, right?
Yeah.
So really having a mentor who is seasoned, a little bit
Yes.
older, someone who's been trusted and tested. And I've been doing
Hmm.
this for a while. And I will tell people at the front if I can't do something or if it's really out of the expectations of something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and a lot of people are like, well, I just want it fast. I just want it. It's like it does
Yeah.
take
Instant
time. But
gratification. Yeah. I've been
yeah,
there. I've been
yeah,
there. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
it
Yep.
is.
Yep.
It is.
And
But
well,
you
and
have
I'll go. I don't think it's an age thing. I'm sorry to interrupt, Dr. Perry, but one of the things I'm learning right now, a lot of these, kids that's old enough to be. I got a 27-year-old niece, my twin sister. I got six, my six sisters and four brothers. I got a big family, 8 nieces, 8 nephews. So
woo.
I learned even with my niece helps me out and things like that. So I go to
Mhm.
them, my nieces and nephews. I call them. I'm like, hey, what the hell going on with all this marketing stuff? Or like this new app coming out. They're like, oh, Uncle Nick, you just don't know. I'm like, well, I'll pay them. I'll pay them. I'll say, hey, I need you guys to kind of. So for me, it has not been an age thing in the sense of with them, but it's been more of an experience and them keeping up with the trends and them knowing their age group. So then what I do, even when I'm at tech teaching, I get with those young kids and I'm like, you 18, 19 years old, right? They're old enough to be our kids, right? So I'm like, teach me, you know what I mean? And consult me. And that's what I do with my nieces and nephews. And then my godson, who's the gentleman that I'm talking about, but he's really mentoring me. I mean, I'm for real. He's
Mhm.
22 years old, but here's the thing about him. He made $180,000 his freshman year of college, right? He was selling sneakers out of his car. And
Get out
then
of here.
he builds like CRM systems and all that. He's just a whiz. So I look at it from a standpoint, how can you bless the team? How can you be an asset to the team? And then what can I learn? And it's just stuff I don't want to do. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
stuff I don't want to learn in a sense. Let me do what I'm good at. That's making deals. That's turning a penny into a dollar, right? Turning a dollar into $100 and $100 into 1,000. So that's what I'm good at. I'm good at creative finance, and that's what God has blessed me to be and stuff like that, and support leaders. So I
And
kind of
you're
leave
good.
it like that. Yeah,
And you're
yes,
good
ma'am.
at speaking, obviously. You're good at
I
speaking.
try, I try
Yeah.
here in these
So you're
streets.
good at
Look,
speaking, good at
I try.
video, and that's all that really it is being authentic, sharing your message,
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
knowing who you're sharing the message, who you are, what you do, and who do you do it for, and why should
Yes,
they
ma'am.
care? And that's and really you've written a lot of books, Nick. So you've
Yep.
written so many books. I love your
Mm-hmm.
covers. One of the things I will say, just as we dive into like the brand assessment of it, is the
Mm-hmm.
books are on Amazon. Your Nick Tinch, and then sometimes your Nick T Tinch.
Tinch. Yep.
Uh, so we want to be consistent with that. Again,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like with algorithms and that kind of thing. The covers are wonderful. What I see is, and I'll just, fix and flip are some of the books: mindset, structure,
Mm-hmm.
process, execution, college students, young
Mm-hmm.
adults, learning how to
Mm-hmm.
accept losses and failures, measure control. Is that these books are good. Some of them are Kindle, some of them are paperback. I guess they could be print on demand. Uh, the things is that getting more eyeballs on them and more video reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon will then push your book in terms of an algorithm to people who are interested in that. And you know how sometimes when you buy something, oh, I bought this, but then we also
Mm-hmm.
suggest that. That only becomes reviews. And so when I see a book that you have, learning how to accept losses and failures, or attitude rehabilitation, or the rocket way, or
Mm-hmm.
understanding and maximizing, and they have, it's good, but then there's like 5 stars, but there's only one review. The books
Mm-hmm.
that really sell on Amazon, and you know this with anything, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go like what's recommended.
Yeah, of course.
So you want to really, without being overly um having to like, I got to keep up with stuff. You have stuff already. And all you have
Mm-hmm.
to do is ask people, if you like the book, leave a review. That will
Okay.
send you into a whole nother level. And the media will find it as well. Media will, if they're looking for an expert on real estate, they'll go to YouTube. They then will go in your YouTube description. You should always put the links to your books, and then they will see that, oh, it's not just some guy talking
Okay.
about real estate.
That's
He
good
has.
because I don't have that, to be honest with you. I don't even have that, So
Oh my
um,
god, the covers are
man,
amazing.
Dr.
I
Perry, I don't
haven't
have
read.
none of that. Oh, none of that. Everything you just none of that. I don't got none of that, girl. I'm telling you, no, ma'am, none of it.
But
I'm telling you.
that's one of the things I see that really would make a difference, because you're
Mm,
passionate about it. You're not afraid of the camera. So
no,
you could go on and you could speak, if you didn't have any other content, you have those books. I don't
Yeah.
say you got to read a page every day, but
Mhm.
you wrote the book, so you have the content. You can just
Mhm.
slice that up, and that could be your content because the content
That's
is in your
good.
books. And you'll say, for more
I never thought about that.
information, get my book. How
Yeah,
about that? You
that's actually
know,
pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good because I never thought
it's
about
a
that.
pretty
Because
good one.
sometimes I was talking with my assistant about this. Because I'm telling you, I say, listen, what do you want me to talk about this week? Because I told her, she said,
You
what?
got these books. How many books do you have?
Man, Dr. P, I ain't even think about that, to be honest with you. I'm being for
12.
real. I was just, and
12.
the day that I went and got them donuts, we got them donuts and the ice cream, that post I just did, man, it was a rough day. It was like a $500,000 problem, right? That I'm still
Ooh,
fixing, like, and still fixing. I'm gonna tell you that. So I told her, I said, listen, I'm like, well, we need to figure out, her name Miss Barnes. I said, Miss Barnes, we need to figure out, what we need to post. And then I got um, some things I have to do later in this month. Long story short, I never thought about chopping that up. I think that's a great idea. I thank you for that. And because majority of those books, honestly, were based off of experiences and difficult things that I either overcame or went through. A lot of people don't realize, like, I graduated high school on a second grade reading level. I mean, and been on my own since I've been 16. Yeah, I ADHD, dyslexia. So all
okay.
the stuff that you're seeing is from ADHD businessman that can steal. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's saved by grace.
And dyslexia on top
And
of that.
dyslexia. So, but what I learned is that, and this is what they don't teach, and I try to teach people this, I have a artistic mind. So even
Okay.
with real estate, I can see things completed before they're done.
Wow.
Even if it looks like a shack, even if it looked like a raw land. That's why
That's
I have
yes.
the 5 business models. We clear land. There's 5 things we do with development. We clear land, we put in sewer line and water lines, we fix and flip. That's our bread and butter. We do new
Mhm.
construction homes, and then now I'm doing custom homes. So let's say you will call me and say, "Hey, Nick, I want a house in Texas. I want you to build it, design it." I'll say, "Well, give me some stuff how you want to design. We'll work with you, and then we'll take on the project in Texas while you're here in Maryland, right, in the DMV market, right?" So I'm doing that now as well too, and
It's kind of
because I had people
like a
reach out to me
construction
about it, I'm
company.
like, yeah. So the ADHD. So long story short, your boy graduated high school, and this is up in all school records and everything. The interesting thing how God is kind of how he has my life. Everything that is said or he has delivered me from or have overcome is documented by a third party, right? So it's amazing. I'm impressed with where I'm at. I'm being for real. I don't take this shit lightly. I'm gonna be for real with you. I don't take
Well,
where I'm at. Yeah,
ADHD is one
yeah,
thing, and then dyslexia. There's a friend of mine who graduated from Harvard who was
yeah.
basically dyslexic, but for a long time, people didn't know how to treat her or the gift.
Mm-hmm.
You call it a gift, like what
Yep.
gift you have, but
Mm-hmm.
traditional school did not allow you
They
to
don't say
use it.
that. Yes, ma'am. No,
Yeah.
they don't say that. Yeah, they teach you like so, and they push you along through school. They do that with those kids. I was one of those kids. They pushed me along through school. Long story short, just as everybody, like, when they look up and see the stuff that I'm doing, they surprised. My family and me surprised too. Hey, so we surprised too. So it's not that I'm just this genius person, or it's I'm gonna tell you, it's grace. I ain't need some. That's
It's a
why
gift. It's a
I
gift.
sometimes sit and smoke a cigar and have me some moonshine. I'd be like, this is crazy, God. I'm like, you really real. Like you can turn a donkey's ass into a palace. You know what I mean? Excuse me, lady, but for real. You know what I mean? He
You
can
can
do
split a
some
Red Sea. How
amazing
about that?
things. No, he
Mhm,
can't.
mhm.
God can, and that's one thing I try to let people know. My faith in Christ. But I'm not the Christian that you can slap and I turn up cheek. Now I'm the one that I carry the AR-15. I'm the ignorant Christian. Yeah, I'm not the one that you're gonna slap and I'm finna
Okay.
fight. We finna have a fight. I don't do that little passive stuff. But
That's
my
that part
business and my
that part
yeah, but my
that part you're
yeah,
working on, okay?
yeah, you're working on me. Yeah, I'm not that dude. You just finna put your hands on. I'm finna pray for you. Nah, I'm not the MLK type dude. I'm not. You know what I mean? Which I respect him. I'm more the Malcolm X type brother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
By any means
It's always
necessary. And
2
that
camps.
no, this is just factual. And this is one thing, like, because I don't think we as business people or the success, we're open about more about the core values of what we believe. We're so easy to push away talking about Christ. We're so easy to, push away how we got to where we are. And we don't want to talk about the trauma or the failures that we have. Nick Tinch has started over 100 businesses. Negroes today, people today are just seeing the reality of failure that I have went through to get to where I'm at, right?
Mm.
So there's real hardship, and it comes with, you have to give something. It comes with divorces, it comes with loss of people, you learning how to tell people no, you learning how to set boundaries and things like that. So the success that they see has not just come out of the air. I have really been tested and tried, and I'm very grateful for where I'm at. But I'm not that passive brother that you can just think that you're gonna say something crazy to. I mean, because the glasses and the bow ties fool a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, one of the things that you said on
Yeah.
your form here that we filled out is that you
Mhm.
really would like to have more publicity. And what you just said
Mhm.
was a great story. That
Yeah.
right there was a really great story. And that's why you wrote the books.
Mhm.
Publicity, media connections, platform building service, real
Mhm.
estate being your main bread and butter of all the things that you do.
It
From
is.
a business strategist standpoint, Lindsay can give you some tips in terms of it's good when we start a business, it's a dream and we're so passionate about it. And like you said, you have a
Mhm.
great imagination and you can see things other people can't see. But the bottom line that everybody can see is that profit and loss statement. So,
Mhm.
Lindsay, kind of give him a little bit about how monetization of a lot of the things that he's doing can really leverage and go further, especially in the Ready, Set, Go, Speak platform as well.
Well, what I like to start with is the objectives. And so on the
Mhm.
form, you put that you want coaching clients and you want paid speaking gigs. Is that right, Nick?
Yes, sir. Yep. Yep.
How are you is your intent to use leverage YouTube in achieving those objectives?
Mhm. Honestly, I just got to this point, to be honest with you, in the sense of having that desire. So I haven't even thought about that, honestly, Lindsay, to be honest with you. So I haven't even thought about that, to be honest with you, Doc, for real. Have not.
Have people
Okay.
been asking you that you would make a good speaker and that kind of thing? Is that where
Yes,
the
yeah,
inclination?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
'cause you
So
do have the
I
gift
have
of it.
I,
I
I
can
have
see
been
it.
I have been asked several times to do some things, but they want me to, come free or want me to do this, and that's okay. I don't mind doing that as well too. But it's like if I got to pay my own travel expenses and all that, I can put that time somewhere else, with my daughters and my
Exactly.
business, with my sisters and brothers,
Exactly.
mentoring people and going from there, what I mean, or starting another business, what I mean. So I just want to make sure that the time that I'm, Lindsay, the time that I'm putting in is kind of is done the right way, what I mean, and it's turning an ROI, right? I'm a businessman at the end of the day, what I
Right.
mean.
Imma
So my
Imma
profit and
say
loss, yeah.
Imma
Mm-hmm.
say this for you and for any speaker that has a gift.
Mm-hmm.
When people ask you to speak for free,
Mm-hmm.
think about where they're asking you to speak for free. They had to pay for the hotel, they had to pay for the people who are putting it on, they had to probably pay for the program, they pay for the promotion of it, they pay for the lights, they pay for all of the things to put on the event, but they want the speaker who's the main show to come in and speak for free.
Mm-hmm.
That just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
Why?
make
Because
sense. Yes, ma'am.
they're gonna make money on everything else, but they want you to come in and speak for what? Exposure. No,
Mm-hmm.
you're part of the line item of everything else that they did when they're putting together that program. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna put together that I have to pay for the hotel, I've got to pay for, even the people taking the tickets at the ticket counter, right? They are getting paid. They're not doing it for free. So why
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't the speaker get paid?
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
if they are the ones inviting you and knowing that if you're there, they will sell tickets.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. But did I answer your question, Lindsay, as
Well,
well too? Because I want to make sure I did as well
I
too.
want to I want to hear you tell me what it is you want, because what I
Mm-hmm.
heard, it sounded like people are asking you to speak and you're trying to figure out a way to accommodate them that's profitable to you, but people wanting you to speak is not the same thing as what you want. So what is it that you want that we can help you with?
Actually, I would like to do both. I would like to speak. I don't mind doing it. I would love to do it. Yes, sir. Let me say that. And then at the same time, people are asking me to speak. And what my mentors are telling me, and my coaches are telling me, because I have mentors and coaches, is like, well, Nick, you don't need no more touch points. You don't need no more, but it's like if somebody's going to ask you to do it and you're going to do it, then you need to be able to get compensated for it. Or if it's going to take away from your time, right? Then you need to figure out a way that is going to either push your brand forward, or it's also too going to give you an additional diversify your income. That's what he was saying. That's what the gentleman said. So he's like, you got to figure out a way to where, if it's something that you're interested in doing, which I am interested in doing it, let's say that, and then if people are asking you to do it because they are, let's say that, then you need to the third thing is like, and you always everybody's always looking to diversify income, right? As business people. So it's like, well, then the other thing is like you can diversify and bring additional income for yourself, right? What I mean, and things like that. So yes, yeah, I want to make sure I answered your
Okay.
question though too. Yes, sir. Yeah.
That I'm with you now. So I would say absolutely YouTube can be a resource in accomplishing all of those things and checking those boxes. So YouTube is your public speaking platform where you're speaking. You're not being paid by anybody to speak, but you're paying yourself. This is your
Mm-hmm.
platform where you're building your brand.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting your message out, whatever message you want to communicate to as many. YouTube has global reach.
Yes, sir.
As your channel grows, you can monetize it. And we got to talk about this existing channel that you have now, because I think you're going to have to start over.
Mm-hmm.
But you can monetize your channel. So then once you're monetized, you will get ad revenue from people watching your videos. You
Okay.
will also get more speaking opportunities from people watching your videos, because they're going to want you to come say those things that you're saying on YouTube in front of their audience. And
Okay.
so when they're making these requests, it's as simple as here's my speaking fee. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. They either pay it or they don't. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not, you know, you just set your rate at whatever you determine that your time is worth, and
Okay.
that's your rate. And the people who can afford it will be able to engage you for your services, and everybody else will just have to enjoy your expertise through YouTube.
Okay. Yes,
But
sir.
so your existing channel, I think one of these folks who you outsourced to did you wrong, because you have
Mm-hmm.
25,000 subscribers here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Getting 25,000 subscribers, that is a significant accomplishment on YouTube. And I can look at this and tell that these are not real subscribers. I
Okay.
can look at
They bought
So
them.
I'm looking at the engagement on your videos,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't align. Like you
Okay.
have an audience of 25,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just silence.
Okay.
It's just silence. They're not watching these videos, they're not liking them, they're not commenting on them. So when
Mm-hmm.
I see an account with 25,000 subscribers, and I'm looking at all these videos that have 10 views, 100 views, 50 views, even 1,000 views,
Mm-hmm.
when you have an audience of 25,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
these are not real, because the way subscribers work on YouTube is if they're like if people subscribe to your channel because they like what you're putting out. And if they stop enjoying what you're putting out, they will
Mm-hmm.
unsubscribe. If they do
Okay.
enjoy what they're if they do enjoy what you're putting out, that will be evident in your videos. They're going to like them. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
comment on them.
And
So
Mm-hmm.
share.
these people, these 25,000 people are not liking your videos, they're not
Okay.
commenting on them, and they have not unsubscribed.
Okay.
So they're doing nothing. They're not saying I like it, and they're not saying I don't like it. They're not
Mm-hmm.
saying nothing, they're not doing anything. So these it's pretty obvious that these are not real. And so the
Mm-hmm.
problem with that is every video that you post,
Mm-hmm.
the algorithm, and this is any platform, it starts by putting that post in front of your audience, the people who have subscribed to your channel, to see
Okay.
how they respond to it. Let me
Okay.
put it in front of some of your folks and see how they like it. And based on how they respond to it, I'll put it in front of some more people. If they like it, I'll put it in front of more people. And that process just continues. Or if it puts it in front of a couple of different samplings of your audience, your
Mm-hmm.
subscriber base,
Mm-hmm.
and they do not respond well to it, then it's not going to show it to anybody outside of your subscriber base. So what you have here is basically 25,000 fake people who you put your stuff in front of, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
respond to it in any way. So that the algorithm says, okay, that post fell flat. I'm not going to show it to anybody else. If his audience doesn't like it, nobody else is either. And so you got basically 25,000 people voting against everything you post.
Let
And
me ask you
so,
this: what about the being consistent? Because I'm not consistent with um the YouTube channel. So is there a certain time date that I should be posting stuff, that I should be doing anything on YouTube? Because
well, go ahead.
no, I'm just asking.
So it depends on your objectives. For most
Okay,
people, weekly is the right number, one
okay.
video per week.
So one video a
But
week. Okay,
yep, but with these fake subscribers
okay,
that are here, nothing's going to help you.
okay,
So my recommendation here, man, you could, because you cannot purge them. You can't get rid of subscribers on YouTube. There's nothing you can do about it. So you would actually be better off starting a new channel from scratch
okay,
and when you post things, you actually will have an opportunity for people to see it versus trying to overcome these 25,000 negative votes every time you post something. I just don't know how you get out of that hole. So if you want to
okay,
use YouTube, my recommendation is to start another channel because I don't know how you're going to salvage this one with all of
okay,
these dead subscribers that's just killing
okay.
everything that you post.
And
But the
what?
answer to you, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no. You said the answer to my question was.
So the answer to your question again for most people is weekly. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have something to say on a weekly basis, then go ahead and do
Okay,
it weekly. But you may be in a place where weekly isn't the right number for you. Maybe it's every 2 weeks, maybe it's once a
mm-hmm.
month. You just want it to be some form of consistency. It cannot be just
Okay,
once in a while. So either
okay.
you're going to do it and commit
So
to some
consistency.
schedule
Okay, okay,
or don't do it at all.
okay, okay. So consistency, and then all right. I talked to the team about that.
So for
Add it to the
you,
list.
I mean, you're actually based on the nature of your work, you're
Yeah,
actually in a very good position, man. You like
yeah.
in one of the easiest type. Like if you look at regular television, the types of
Mm-hmm,
shows that are always popular, cooking
mm-hmm,
shows are always popular, home improvement
Improvement.
shows are always popular.
mm-hmm,
So based on the nature of the work that you're doing, turning just bare land into livable space,
mm-hmm,
somebody like you can engage a videographer and you can have somebody that follows you around. Maybe it'll be a couple of
mm-hmm.
days a week or however you want to
Yeah.
do that. But
Mhm.
you can create a show where you're taking people start to finish from turning, a project from initiation through completion. That's gold, man.
That's interesting you say that, because I'm starting some new bills now, and that may be a good suggestion to from the start of that project to the finish of it. That
Breaking
may be a
ground.
good idea to do. Breaking ground, putting in the
Mhm.
foundation. I just got we ordering the materials. We ordering the materials from the lumber yard and the plans. I'm getting my plans redone. Um, Rounding up the team. That may be a good idea, man.
That's
I
so
never thought about
interesting.
And
that.
That's so
that's the
interesting to even someone like me who's not into trying to build a house, but just
Really?
like
Oh,
everybody lives somewhere.
how do you
yeah.
develop?
Everybody lives some and
What?
seeing that process. And that's an example of how you could do. I would like to see that show weekly, but if you
Mm,
wanted to do that every
I
other
can do it
week,
weekly. I can
or
do it
you,
weekly, to
and
be honest with you.
yeah, so
Yes, sir.
you got that's content that keeps people coming back because they
Now,
got to
would you
come.
would you suggest it be a 15-minute, 30-minute, or like what would you
There is
expect the
no
duration of the
there,
time?
there is no magic number for the
Okay.
time. That's the beauty of YouTube. All
Mm-hmm,
of your shows are not going to be the same length. It might be
mm-hmm.
20 minutes this week, 45 next week. What's important is that it is engaging throughout. So
Okay.
don't
Now,
have stuff in there that's going to cause somebody to take a nap during your show. Because
yeah.
Right.
Now,
go ahead.
the one thing about what we do, you ain't gonna take a nap, because you're gonna be one of it's some interesting stuff. It's crazy, a lot of stuff that we don't show and talk about because you him to my from dealing with contract to roughing inspection to ordering material to picking it up to getting it delivered. But it's interesting. A statistic just came out. A partner of mine, actually, he's a lender, and he just became a business partner of mine. He was on with VCU, and VCU just did a study to where 200,000 homes, I think, for the next 10 years or 15 years need to be built in Virginia, the Commonwealth. Now we had 200,000. Now I'm gonna say this. I told him, I'm like, listen, that's a stretch, which is true though. The numbers are true because we're 7 million homes in the red in the country, right, as a nation. So I told him, I said, listen, I'm like, we don't need the two. We don't need. We ain't trying to do 200,000 homes. I say, but how about we look at 300,000? We net a buck 20 per house. That was over $250 million. If we do 3,000 homes times a buck 25, 125,000. That's over $250 million. That's the industry that I'm in as a developer builder.
Mm,
So I told
mhm.
him, I said, listen, man, I'm like, let's round up everybody. Let's get this money together. But the Commonwealth, Virginia, is 200,000 homes that we need. We're in the red. Like, so if you do that nation where you look, Florida, Texas, you know,
Michigan.
Michigan, New York, all those other states, you know what I mean? You look at for somebody to even, and I tell people this with getting into real estate. I don't care if you come in as a lender. I don't care if you come in as a silent partner. You do a joint venture deal. You got the good credit. Um, this gentleman has the experience. You know, maybe he's the analyst guy. Nick is the contractor. Y'all go get a loan and y'all just rinse and repeat. You know what I mean?
Mm,
You rinse and repeat, right? That's. But you look at 3,000 homes times a buck 25, $125,000. That's where you at. I tell them like we don't even got to touch that. We don't got to do 5,000, 10,000. You know, so that's the industry. But you're right. And these two new bills, and I'm working on two flips now, and then actually another one I'm going to purchase. So that is a lot of good content, and that's a great
mhm.
idea to probably start that over, and then because what I can do one flip, and then I can do one new bill. So
Mhm.
that's a hell of a lot of content. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um,
In
in the
terms
sense
of
of what's that?
mm, just in terms of how you do it, in terms of really what they call the fast moving, how you
Yeah.
speed up the thing, that is also really, really interesting when people see the ground break and you're
Hmm.
actually going through it. And so it takes over time, but it's a
Hmm.
time lapse.
Yes, ma'am.
Those
Yeah.
are one of the things that are really, I guess you would say, they go viral. Those are the ones that people really like. And
Okay.
and 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 we're not saying that you can't use the other platforms, just
Hmm.
make YouTube your native platform. You could share it on
Okay.
Facebook, you could share it on LinkedIn, you could share it
Okay.
as a TikTok, but let it be the native and live on a regular basis to YouTube, and
Hmm.
make sure that you are putting links in there in the social media. And because media looks for a lot of, and put it on Twitter as well, media are
Hmm.
looking for people that are consistent, people who have thought leadership like you do.
Hmm.
It helps build your platform when you are consistent in that space. And
Yes, ma'am.
so, at a certain point in time, it can be a radio, it can be, you want to have long form content in different articles,
Hmm.
CEO Weekly or Marketplace Daily. Those are things, or even where you can find where other people from other parts of the country, like Dexter B. Jenkins, may partner with you. And he's from Boston and he does real
Hmm.
estate development. He's a pastor, but he also is teaching real estate development as well, and how to fix and flip, and how does that work, and the finance. I mean, it's so many pieces to it, and
Hmm.
this is where your money is. This is where your
Hmm.
money is. The
Okay.
other things about getting social media and doing all the other stuff, and mm-mm, mm-mm. And that's where really just, from the standpoint of really getting into, like you said, you have a mentor and that kind of thing, but PR contacts are always changing all the time. I talked with a young lady today. She says, I had PR contacts. I used to do press releases, but things have changed, or people have left.
Hmm.
And so one of the things about Ready, Set, Go Speak is that we have fresh contacts all the time. People who are looking for speakers, people who are looking for someone to contribute columns, people who are looking to be featured. They come to me and I put them in the community. Ready, Set, Go Speak. It's only about 50 or so people in there right now, but really I'm looking like what we're doing right now
Hmm.
of assessing someone. I
Hmm.
will look and say, hey, you need to change your bio. I did that the other day. I said, I go to your homepage, I go to your about, which is the most visited page, and I say, this bio looks not right. Okay, we
Hmm.
need to fix it because it doesn't reflect who you are. And basically, I'm saying, I need you to make this bio better, because if that's the most visited page on your website, and I go to this bio and it's like it reads like an obituary, I'm going to bounce off. Uh, and so in terms of like building the platform
Hmm.
is really making sure that you're speaking in the right places. If you are going to speaking for a honorarium because they're honoring your time. Even if they can't pay, it says, hey, I'm gonna send you an invoice. My invoice is for $2,500, but what I'm going to do is just make sure that, there's an honorarium, but you know that you are at this point, if you choose to say, okay, if you only have a budget of 1,000, I'm going to send you an invoice for, and I'm going to take off but this is what you're going to pay me as an honorarium, because you want to eventually what they call to become a CSP, a certified speaking professional. And that only comes by having so much invoicing and paid speaking gigs. So if you're speaking for free all the time and you're not doing that, you'll never become a CSP. A CSP is that like stamp of approval, kind of like you're just certified as a professional speaker. So you want to have that as well. So just we teach those type of things, and there's courses in there as well. I know probably don't have time for that, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll make sure that I'm looking at the assessment, or I will tap someone on the shoulder and say, hey, I think you really do need to be in ERU Web, because they're doing a feature on real estate developers, and I think you should be a part of that listicle that they're doing. I mean,
Well,
those
no,
are just
well, anytime with training, I don't, regardless if the Lord lay me on your heart, or even you, what I mean, sir, it's like, and for training, I'm always that's one reason way I have gotten to where I'm at. I believe in development. I believe in training. I believe in learning. That's probably one of my biggest gifts that a lot of people don't know. And I love sitting at the feet of people with knowledge. You can see how what y'all are saying, because no, I'm for real, because it's like it's important, right? You know what I mean? And I respect leadership, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, if you the professional, that's one thing y'all will know, is like, if you the professional, what you do, I'm like, bro, run with it. I'm gonna be like, hey, Dr. Perry, you got that. I trust you. I know you know what you're gonna, you know what you're doing. Just tell me where to go, what to do, and I'll do it. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I think is a blessing with me, because I love learning, and I love being at the feet of people that, will teach, what I mean, especially the right way, so yes, ma'am. Yeah.
This bio right here, the one you submitted and the one that ran,
Mm-hmm.
is it better?
Mm-hmm. I have no idea. I don't even know. Well, what did I submit? Because I got.
I rewrote it. Let's just say. So one of
I'm
the
pretty
things it
sure
says,
you did. Hey,
as the
anything you
speaker,
said.
Mr. Tinch brings themes of life,
Well, yeah.
sharing his insights and experience to inspire others, whether addressing aspiring entrepreneurs, which is what you
Mm-hmm.
do, seasoned professionals, and anyone in between. The message is clear. Success is built on a foundation. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that word foundation is kind of like one of the keywords you use a lot, of
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, ethical practice, and a commitment to the greater good. And that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like it fits your profile.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're a preacher, but you do
Oh, I
show that
am. Well, no,
is a big, is a
I'm
big part
ordained.
of what you
I'm
do.
licensed. I've served as an executive pastor, young adult pastor, church administrator. I'm a licensed hospital. I got 5 licenses, but
Ah.
I'm
Oh,
licensed,
that's
but
real interesting. You said something right there, because a
oh
lot
yeah,
of people are ready, set, go speak. They are
yeah,
speakers, but a lot of them
yeah.
started out as youth pastors
Oh
or
yeah,
youth
I started
speakers,
out in the church.
as youth speakers.
My foundation comes from that. I don't subscribe to a lot of the things that's happening, but that's why. And I think, but so that's a whole nother topic. But my gift is actually, I call me that's a whole nother gift. That's a whole nother conversation. But no, that's where I started.
Uh-oh,
That's where I started at.
internet.
Yeah, that's where I started at, and that's where not only my faith comes from, but my background. So
Mhm.
that's all day ministry. That but I'm at a point, like I said, I don't. This person keep like, so I don't subscribe to certain things. I do it the way God has laid it on my heart to do it, as a Christian and as a brother in Christ, and I'm not ashamed of it. And I do it with some moonshine and a cigar in my hand. You know what I mean? That's the way I do it. All that other fake stuff and all that stuff, I don't subscribe to that. And anybody from Florida to the Commonwealth, to Texas, to California, to all over this country, all over the world, will tell you, the boy anointed. He means what he say. He stand by what he mean. And they call me 100%. They 100% beef dude. You know what I'm saying?
What is
So I'm a country boy. I do it the country way. You know what I mean? And I do it with integrity and with oath. If I say I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, I can't. You know what I mean? So my grandfather taught me that, and that's what I live by. You know what I mean? So yeah, all that fake. If I see somebody full of it, I'd be like, yeah. You're like, what happened to Nick? I just don't come around no more. I don't waste brain power trying to see who's the more intelligent or who got this. I don't do that. I've never
Well,
done that.
that's what
Yeah.
it's one of the main things about any platform is being authentic.
Yeah.
People will
Yeah.
buy from people they know, like,
Yeah.
and trust, and
Yeah.
just
That's
having
me.
that, and
Yeah.
that's your number one value. You should
Yeah.
be a rock star without
Yeah.
having to buy
Yeah.
any followers and likes and
Yeah.
all of that. You should be a rock star because the get the publicity, you know,
Mm,
if you if and like you said, if you are teachable, then we can
mm.
show you all the different places where you need to show up. If you are one of the things where you're coachable, it's like, okay, well, these are the things maybe to change. Maybe don't do the videos always in the car. Maybe we need to do them a little bit different, and then also just,
I'll be doing
make
in the car. Yep. Mm,
and Lindsay, speak to that.
mm,
Well, he doesn't always do because there's some here where you're on site. You're
mm,
in the properties that are being
That part,
developed,
mm,
and that's it. So I
mm,
want
that's
you to think about YouTube as a piece of undeveloped land that you can
mm.
turn into a revenue generating asset with
Okay.
no cap on what it can generate.
That
So
makes sense
just
to me, Mr.
imagine,
Lindsay. That makes sense
yeah,
to me right now. That just
as I
clicked.
was
When you
I
said
said,
that, I understand numbers and money.
I
let
knew
me
you
put this
would.
in some
Bro, that made so much sense instantly when you said, I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah.
That part.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't need to waste time on any other platform. What
Yes,
my
sir.
recommendation to you would be is start another YouTube channel because this one
Okay.
is continuing our real estate analogy. This is land that is toxic. It's got oil in it. I mean like an oil spill that
Mm.
you can't
Can't
rebuild on
clean
it,
up.
or
Okay.
it's got some nuclear waste or whatever. You need
Asbestos
to
in it.
this piece of land, don't worry about. Start
Okay.
another one, another YouTube channel, and you can build this into anything you want. It is the most
Wow.
efficient use of your time because the content is just your day. You're going
Mm-hmm.
about your work day, and a couple of days a week, you're going to have somebody following you with the camera, and you're going to be narrating and saying whatever it is you want to say that is
Mm-hmm.
not going to disrupt your day in any way. And now you're getting your message out. You're communicating to people the way you normally would communicate. You're
Okay.
providing mentorship to people who otherwise would have no way of accessing you to get this kind of knowledge from you. And it's not imposing on you in any way. It's just
Okay.
you're opening your workday up to the world and showing people how you do what you do. And that's going to bring you the opportunities that you're looking for. People are going to see this show and see who you are, how you are, and how you do things, and
Mm-hmm.
say, I want that guy to be a
Yep.
part of what I'm doing. And I recognize that I'm going to have to pay whatever it costs because he's obviously worth it. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be my recommendation to you. YouTube is your piece of undeveloped land with the greatest earning capacity for you.
Okay. Awesome. We'll get her done. We'll get
That's
it
it.
done. We'll get her done. We will get
That's
her done.
it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
would
And
just like to invite you to be a part of Ready, Set, Go Speak as well, because you can have a
yes,
lot of
ma'am.
PR opportunities and also mentorship and
Yeah.
also
No, thank
a
you.
community that will say, hey, teach me how to do what you're doing as well. So you may get customers and clients out of there as well. But it
Yes,
is
ma'am.
something that I just would invite you to be a part of because I think you could
Yeah.
really get a lot out of there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, thank you. I would love to. We'll talk about it and send me whatever information, and then
there.
also to just thank you guys for your time. I know y'all are busy, and one thing I don't like wasting people's time, so I apologize. With the miscommunication
No, no, no. You
yeah,
know what?
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
for whatever reason, I knew I had to remind you. I did
Oh, of
not know
course.
you were
You
I didn't listen, I did not know you were ADHD,
what
okay?
like a mug, like a mother sucker. And I'm gonna tell you, Dr. Perry, I'm gonna tell you, I'm the
I
type.
was like, a lot of my
I'm
good friends are. So I
yeah.
kinda got that vibe. I was
Yeah.
like I was
But I'm the
like,
type too. Is like I'm the type where I even though I lead, I don't mind being led. You know what I mean? So it's like you would get it. Like if we're working together, if the Lord allows and the numbers are right and things like that, for us to partner and stuff. And you guys will learn that. Like, let me call and text Nick or let me remind him. And a lot
yeah,
of stuff is, and a lot of stuff I like to, what I do now in a sense also too, I free my mind so I can also too be more creative. So a lot of times, and I will leave what Dr. Perry does, what this gentleman does up to you guys. Okay, that's out of my mind. They'll contact me. They'll let me know. And my assistant got on me about it this early this week. She's like, well, you didn't tell me to do that. I'm like, well, and she's still learning her job. She's new with us. And I'm like, well, I know I'm, whatever, I'm the leader, but I'm like, also too, you ain't none without a good assistant, you know what I mean? and stuff like that. So a lot, but I thank you for that. And I do apologize because I know you guys' time is valuable and I really appreciate it. You guys taking time to talk to me on your
Good.
platform. It means a lot. And great assessment, man. I'm gonna tell you something, Doc, man, you got some good stuff. I appreciate that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
what
Yep.
we saw you had the it factor, and it was just some
Really?
things that we had to
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
you got the it factor.
I was
You
on the
got the
phone
it
with one.
factor.
I was on the phone with one of my spiritual sisters yesterday, and she just was laid on my heart. So she's down in Florida, and everybody's saying it, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't see what everybody see, and I think that's a blessing. And so I don't. I'm tell you, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm being so serious. I'm grateful to where I'm at, and I don't see what everybody see. I know I'm a cool dude. I got a little swag. My dad named Milton Tinch. That joke right there, something. My daddy got 11 kids. Let me tell you that. So I mean, from 6 different women. My dad is one of the coolest OG you ever want to meet. He's an amazing person, right? But saying that, I know I got a certain thing that I like to do. I like clothes. I like, certain things have to be a certain way with me. And I get that, but also too, I still don't see what other people see. But I think that's part of being part of a team and your team coming together to help you bring that together. And then another thing, which is, and I'll say this before I go, if I make money, you guys make money. So with this YouTube thing, if that thing pop off, Doc, you're gonna be one of the first person I'm gonna call. I'm like, hey man, like a percentage to you. I'm like, well, damn, because that's how I have developed my relationships in business.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person is that Nick does not like. I'm gonna tell you this, and I dislike this. I do not like being the only person at the table with 100,000, 10,000. If we're all at the table sitting with $100,000 a piece, we're more powerful to get a deal done, right? So if they know I'm the only person at the table with a 7 figures, $1 million, or $100,000, $10,000, we're not powerful. So as Nick grows, then I say, hey, Dr. Perry, here you go. Lawrence, here you go. I make sure that everybody is able to, their lifestyle increases as well too.
You're a multiplier. It's one of the
Yeah,
things.
yeah. So
Writing Steve Burris said that today. He says, I'm a
yeah,
multiplier, and then we should all be
yeah,
multipliers. And we help
yeah.
whoever we touch, we should be able to multiply.
Yeah.
So I
So
just
yeah,
thank you
yeah.
so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
It's
no
been really,
problem.
really
Thank you guys
good.
so much. I appreciate it. And I'm going to pick up my babies. It's my weekend, so I'm excited to get
Okay.
them.
All right. Well,
Yep.
you
All right.
enjoy. Always.
All right.
They stay babies in such a blink of an eye. So enjoy
Yep.
them as well.
They 4 and 7,
Oh
and
my God.
yeah, they 4 and 7 years old. So they
That's
they
a
are
cute
amazing.
age. When they turn 10, when they turn those double digits, then they kind of know more than you, right?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm gonna call their mom, call they they amazing mama and say, hey, go get these girls, come get your
Ooh,
daughters, because
there you
they're gonna be
go.
like her, So, but yep. So, but thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Y'all have
All
a
right.
good one.
Thank you.
All
All
right,
right.
All
You
right,
sir.
too.
Have
take
a good day.
care. All right, take care. Take
Bye
care.
bye. That was good. That was good. Well, Lindsay, he really is. I think he is. He said. He said. So thank you so much, Lindsay, for joining us too for Ready Set Go Speak. It is a lot. But really his main thing for publicity, platform building, and media contacts, we got that, and you gave him the strategy laid out. So if he needs more getting out of the car doing the videos, it's good, but we need to see him really do like the
Yeah.
reality show type of thing. And I like
Yeah.
time lapse. I really do. Like if you're building a house, I like time lapse. That's like really, really what will keep my attention. I know as a person, it's like, well, how do they do that? And so if you see a time lapse film, I
Yeah, he
like
can
that.
do that after the regular videos, and then ultimately when the project completes, he could do a recap video that has that time lapse where you see
I
the whole
love
thing. Like if you couldn't follow the 12 weeks or 16 weeks or whatever it took,
it.
you can watch this one video and see the whole project.
That's me. That is me. That's the kind of stuff I love. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will be next Friday. We got another good person in the hot seat as well. So
Excellent.
I will talk to you later. Thank you so much. All
Take
right.
care.
So that is Get Out There, Get Known podcast. So thanks for joining us today. I am excited. Ready, set, go speak. Go ready, set, go speak.com. Find out about it. Join the community. Be a part of us. And I will guide you through any of this so that you will not be wasting money or wasting time. All right. I'm Pam Perry. Take care. Outro.
You've been listening to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast brought to you by PamPerryPR.com. where you'll get insider tips on how to build your platform, pitch the media, and promote yourself with confidence. Head over to PamPerryPR.com and get the exclusive video training on the 7 must-have marketing materials you need before you pitch in order to be considered in media places or superstar stages. PamPerryPR.com, where you help you shine like a